Today marks 15 years since I became paralysed, May the 7th, 2005. And I was 15 years old. It's a really funny time because it's weird to think that I was 15 and 15 years have gone by. I've had the equal amount of time of being able-bodied and disabled. So when I was 15 years old, I had a car accident where I broke my neck, which left me paralysed from the chest down, and my life changed literally overnight. I had a new life. I had to learn so many things, and it kind of gave me the biggest challenge of my life. And so I thought I'd share this video with you today because I wanted to share with you 15 things that I've learned being paralysed and having a spinal cord injury. It's so weird to think that I'm on the equal plane of being disabled and not disabled. Because the 15 years before seemed so poignant to me, but these past 15 years have been very poignant and have gone so fast. But at the same time, that other life feels like an actual lifetime ago, like a past life. It's so crazy. So I just want to share with you the 15 things that I've learned being 15 years paralysed. Number 1, gratitude. Being so grateful for so many things in my life, it made me realise that the simple things mean the most. So next time you're running up the stairs, next time you're taking a shower, just washing your hair and just standing there feeling like free, the next time you run on the beach or put your feet in the sand, the next time you get out of bed on your own and just simply stroll to the kitchen, realize that those little things actually mean a lot. And I wish I was more grateful for those things because I took them for granted. But now I'm grateful for other things. I'm grateful for a roof over my head. I'm grateful for the wheelchair that helps me get from A to B, helps me travel the world, helps me see what I can see in the world, and helps me just live my life freely as much as possible. I'm grateful for the comfortable bed that I have, the warm shower I have every day, the ability to breathe. I'm grateful for my friends and my family. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm still alive, because when I had my car accident, I could have died. Yet I didn't, and I'm still here, and I'm using my voice, and I could have lost my voice, so I'm grateful that I've still got my voice. I'm grateful for my hands. They don't work completely, but I'm still able to move my wrists and able to do my own makeup, able to go on the computer, able to message my friends, communicate with my voice, my hands. I am still me, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for so many things, for the people that help me. I'm grateful for the resources that I have. I'm grateful for so many things. So it's really taught me about gratitude and the importance of it and how it can change your world, because really being alive is the most grateful thing we should be grateful for because it's so rare, yet we are here. Number 2, it's taught me patience. When I was in hospital for 6 months, I was on bed rest for around, completely on bed rest for around 6 weeks. And since then, I've had times where I've had to go on bed rest, and in that time it can be so bleak and so lonely and so like, when will this end? Come on, you're willing on the days. And I feel that society is, learning patience at this level at the moment with isolation, and it's really taught me how to be patient and taught me that within having the patience within a situation and having patience with yourself and others around you, it really does ease your mind. And having that patience is such a skill, because being patient is key with a lot of things in life. We always seem to want to rush and to get to the next destination, but you know what? The journey is the destination, and appreciating all the things in between leads us to where we need to be, and on that path is where we learn things. So having patience with yourself, with people around you, with situations really does make you feel better as a person, and that makes you realize that you're going to learn lessons along the way. You don't have to just jump and be in a certain place. You've got to just take each day as it comes and know that you're learning things within that day. So patience, I've learned a massive skill of patience, because I have to be patient in so many ways. Like I have to be patient when I had to be on bed rest that time, and when I've had to be like for a few days here and there. I also have to have patience with people, because obviously some things I can't do myself, so I have to have the patience of how much longer things take because I can't do things on my own. Also the patience with myself and learning that sometimes things take me a little longer, like doing some certain things may take longer, and that there's sometimes obstacles, but have the patience within it, because if you have patience and you remain positive, great things happen. Being paralysed has also taught me that anything is possible and that we are really our only limit. Sometimes this sort of injury can happen and we can feel that our lives are over, we cannot achieve things anymore. Well, that's how I felt anyway when I was depressed when this first happened. Well, a couple of years after it happened, I became really depressed, thinking my life was over and that nothing was possible anymore. That I wouldn't be able to achieve great things, I wouldn't be able to go into relationships, I wouldn't be able to be just Jordan, the one that I really wanted to be, the person I wanted to grow into. I thought it wasn't possible. I didn't think I'd be able to have a job or be able to create anything. I felt like it was over, but it's not. I've learnt that through the years. I've learnt that with the skills I've developed. I've learnt that by learning meditation and then realising my worth, realising I still have something to say, realising that I can still be of value to society, realising that I'm still worthy of the best despite an injury. The injury is just there. It's not the thing that's going to stop me, and it shouldn't stop you either if you're in a situation where you feel that you're stuck. This doesn't have to relate to a spinal cord injury, but know that you are worthy of great things. Anything is possible. We just have to put our mind to it and just go with it and just really believe in ourselves, because we're the only ones stopping us. Despite any injury, any situation, any challenge, we can still achieve and do greatness. A major thing it's taught me is life isn't over. It was funny because when I was depressed, I wanted to die. But when I was in the car fighting for my life, all I wanted to do was live. And I knew I was paralysed straight away. I said, I'm paralysed. I didn't even know I didn't know anything about paralysis, but I knew. My instinct knew that I was paralysed. And I now know life isn't over. I'm so grateful that I get to live this life. Sometimes it may be harder, but that is my life and I have to just accept it. It's like giving me that acceptance that I have this injury. It's up to me if I want to, excel at it, not excel at the injury, but excel at life still, or hold myself back. And I choose to live because I am still alive and life is still happening. Life isn't over. Life is happening for me, not to me, as Mr. Tony Robbins would say. And with that, it's just taught me that we can sometimes dwell on things and think that life is over, even though we're still breathing, we're still here, but we sometimes think, well, life is over. Like if we go for a breakup or something, we may be like, life is over, oh, what am I gonna do? What's my next step? But that is when you learn, that is when you develop, and that is when you create, and that is when you adapt, and that is when you start to understand yourself and your true self. So I am still alive and I am grateful. I'm still breathing, I'm still healthy, I'm here, and that is all I could ever wish for. It's also shown me the true colours of people. When you have an injury like this, sometimes it can make people like a bit anxious about approaching you in certain situations, which is completely mind-boggling to me because I'm still human. I just so happen to have an injury, and I sit in a wheelchair. I mean, I'm only sitting down. But it's shown me the true colours of people who are willing to be your friend and be helpful and know that you're still a good friend. And when I was younger, I've only got like one friend left from when I was young. But in a way, I'm glad because I've got the good people in my life. I've got people who vibe off my energy and I vibe off theirs. You get the right people in your life when you have this sort of thing because it cuts out any bad things. Although I must say sometimes you get those people who come into your life who just want to take, because if you're a strong person sometimes and an empathic person, which I am, which is one of the other things that I've learned, sometimes you do get people who want to just take and not give any energy exchange in return. Like it's got to be equal. and I think that's taught me that as well. It's taught me the importance of movement. So although I'm paralysed, I can still move my top half a bit, you know, I can still move my arms, I still do exercise, I can do boxing. I think it's so important to move because movement makes you feel good and there's endorphins there. And even if you're completely paralysed and you can't move anything, make sure people are moving for you. So I do leg exercises in the morning. Movement is key, because if we stay still, it's so stagnant and like that energy just gets stuck and we just feel like sluggish. So moving not only gets your vibration high and you feel happier, it also just moves all the energy around your body and kind of keeps everything flowing and keeps you healthy. And it also reminded me of like when I was younger, like, if I could just go for a run right now, even though it's raining, if I got that gift, that would be such a blessing. So please don't take for granted that you can move your body, because it is so important. And if you can move your whole body, do it. This body is here to move, to get you where you need to be in life. It's a vessel for your soul to move and to, you know, express yourself with your body. Like I said a moment ago, it's shown me empathy. Now, I'm an empathic person anyway, but it's shown me empathy and kindness. It's shown me empathy and kindness that other people give, but it also has taught me how to be empathic and kind towards anyone's situation. It's taught me that no matter what challenge people may face, they're all challenges and they're all relevant to that person. So someone may not have gone through something that seems so traumatic as someone else, but it's relevant to their lives because it affects their lives in a similar way, because it's a challenge and it's a lesson for them to learn. So kindness really goes a long way. Be kind to people, because you don't always know what people are also going through. And it's really taught me that, to really be empathic towards everyone's situations, because although they are all different, even if you have a spinal cord injury, they're all different. There's so many different spinal cord injuries. Our spine is quite long, you know. So it's just taught me that, and it's taught me that to show love and to give love when it's needed, because sometimes just a kind word can mean so much to someone. I know it does to me. Kindness goes a long way, and sometimes if you're having a bad day, just a kind word can really, really help somebody. And when you feel alone and feel like the odd one out, just someone's kindness can actually really, really affect you. I mean, I've never felt like I fit in, to be honest, anywhere. And so if someone says something kind, it really, really, it does touch my soul. But I just think that it has taught me to be a little more understanding with certain situations. It's taught me that challenges are lessons. We are here, like we always wonder why we're here, and we are here to learn. So we are here on this planet to learn lessons. And within that, we're going to have challenges, because if we didn't have challenges, we wouldn't learn. And life would just be like this all the time. But with challenges, it's up to us to then adapt. It's up to us to then like flip the situation and see the potential in the situation and see the opportunities in the situation. So right now I'm doing this video, and for me this is an opportunity to inspire you in some way and to help you realize like how lucky you are in any situation, and that you're not alone even if you feel alone. So with the challenges, there's always a lesson within that challenge. So the other week I spoke about it. I had to go on bed rest for a couple of days. At this point I'd got bored of isolation. I was like, oh, I'm going crazy. But it made me then so grateful when I got back into my wheelchair and that I could go in any room of the house, and I could go outside in my garden, I could go on the computer. I wasn't stuck to that one room. So that challenge actually made me come back into alignment and made me realize like how grateful I am for all that is happening, all the challenges, because all the challenges lead you really to your next destination, your next path of where you need to be and where you are going in life. It's also taught me that I am not my injury, and you are not your injury, you are not your diagnosis, you are not your situation. These things do not define us. They are part of us, but they do not define us. It's a bit like saying, well, I've got blonde hair. Having blonde hair doesn't define me. An injury doesn't define me. My personality is there still. My hobbies are there. And the things I enjoy, the conversations I have, the love I give, the way I express myself, that defines me. These wheels and this broken neck, it doesn't define me. It shapes me, but it isn't all what I'm about. I'm not just about an injury. This is what has led me to do what I do now, and all the little challenges in between, all the little things are like a web, and everything is just expanding all the time. I've had other challenges. This isn't my only challenge I've had. I've had loads of challenges, and each one of those challenges has led me to my next path and my next destination, and has taught me something. So it's taught me that I am more than my injury. I'm not defined by it. It may be a big thing, but it's not the only thing. I'm Jordan, I am me, and you are you. You are not just your challenge. It has taught me the importance of health. And right now I feel all of us are understanding that health is definitely wealth, and that health is everything right now. Being able to breathe, being able to live, like without health, we can't do anything. So, because we won't be here, because if we haven't got any health, we won't be alive. So in order to be able to achieve what we want to achieve in life, we need to be as healthy as possible, because that should be like, well, that is my top value, is my health. Sometimes I slip out of it a little bit because I'm human, but health should be at the top of my list, because health really does then make me be able to do things like these videos to help my one-on-one clients to be able to think correctly, like, and create ideas and know what to say, and know how to share a good message, and how I can, you know, look after my own self. And it also makes you feel good. So the healthier you are, you feel good. So look after yourself in any ways that you can. Obviously I haven't got all my health because I can't even move my legs. There's other situations within my body that I can't control. So it's just, you know, adapting with that, and kind of understanding that health is paramount and looking after yourself is really important. And I really do take care of my body in any way that I can. And if I can't do it, I express my self to others in order to help me to be the most healthy I can be, because it's so important, because it enables me to stay up in my wheelchair to be able to do what I'm doing right now. So remember how important your health is over everything, over materialistic things. They don't matter. If you have all the materialistic things in the world but you don't have your health, you're not rich. Like, the rich person is being healthy and happy and joyful and just doing what you can. It's not about being the most healthy person, because there's certain situations we can't help if we have like a illness, but it's being as healthy as we can. We're trying. So that is so important. It's really taught me that. Your body is amazing. Your heart beats non-stop until the day you die without you even asking it to. The blood pumps around your body without even you knowing. There's things going on. Your immune system is fighting off bacteria all the time without you even doing anything. And it's taught me that it's so important to be grateful for that, and to realize like how amazing our bodies are. My body had like such an injury, so traumatic, but it fought to keep me here. My spirit did, but so did my body. And it's still here despite that, despite the trauma it's facing, despite the pain and agony that it faced. It kept me here. Bodies are amazing. No matter your size, your shape, they're amazing. They keep us here. Give it love. Stop being so hard on yourself. Stop looking in the mirror and saying cruel things to yourself, because this body is our vehicle to be on planet Earth, to enjoy this human experience. But saying that, you are more than your body. You have a soul, a mind, and a spirit. And you are so much more. You are so much more than, if you have a spinal injury, I've realised I'm so much more than my body that's maybe broken, or sometimes may look, if I did look in the mirror and didn't like something about it, I'm more than that. I'm a soul that is, I feel like I'm an old soul, and it's taught me that I am more than this. I'm more than this outer shell. Although I like to make myself look presentable. That is just something that my soul enjoys. I'm more than this. I am what's inside. Inside is what counts, and the way I communicate, the way I do things in life is what matters. I am more than my body, and you are more than your body. Your heart shines so much more than how your body looks. Your soul, your light just shines and radiates when you have good intentions and are a good person. It makes you beautiful in all different ways. It's also taught me that humans are so adaptive. We always say to other people who have dealt with something like, I could never do that, how do you do that? But do you know what? When you go through things, you adapt. You find ways to do things. You see the world in a different way, and you find a way in which you can create your own world, because sometimes you have to adapt in order to live your fullest life still. You have to adapt in order to be happy, because you have to find new ways to do things, because some things may not always be how it should be done or how things are supposed to be done, but there's still ways of doing things. Adaptation is massive. Like, we're all having to adapt right now. Like, technology is key right now, because we're all being able to communicate with technology. If we didn't have that there, we wouldn't be able to communicate. So we may not be able to see our friends right now in isolation. We can adapt by talking to them on the phone. So this is an example of adaptation. So when I was in hospital, I used to have to use a hand strap thing to hold my fork in so I could feed myself, because at the time, obviously this was 15 years ago, I couldn't hold a fork to feed myself. But there was a man beside me who had lost his strap, and he had a worse injury than me. So I gave him mine, and I tried using my fork, and I did it. And it kind of made me think, how can I use this in other ways? And it made me realise that, I can now probably put mascara on. I can hold a fork. I could manage to try and get my hand up here. At the time it was really difficult, but it was adapting. And with that adaptation came patience. And with that adaptation came success, because I adapted, I kept trying, and I eventually got to my goal of being able to do my makeup just by finding out that this man couldn't eat without his strap. And it helped me by helping someone else. So that's another little message there. So, if you're helping someone, don't think you're always going out of your way, because you're not, because ultimately you do give yourself some good karma too. It's taught me about inner strength. There may be times when you feel frustrated in life. I know that I have been. I've been so frustrated. I've been so down. I've been so like, why has this had to happen to me at times? I've been so like, I'm not being able to do what I want with my life because of this injury. I put blame on the injury a lot in the past. And sometimes being human, it still does come up sometimes. Not every single day. I mean, very rarely this happens now. But I'm just saying, like, sometimes you have an ego moment and a human moment when you're just like, But it's taught me about inner strength. And despite all the bad and despite everything that happens, you always pull through. And it's taught me that we humans are amazing. We can, like I said, adapt to anything, but we can also pull from that inner strength. Our soul can really guide us through dark times, and that even when there is dark times, we get through them, and we always get through them, because look, we're still alive and breathing. So that inner strength of humans is really amazing, and I'm really proud of myself, to be honest. And if you were going through anything, please be proud of yourselves. Do not hold back. Do not think that it's bad to be proud of yourself, because really that inner strength is so powerful and it's so needed, and we are just lucky that we have this inner strength that we can pull from. So as well, it makes me like deal with new experiences from past experiences. So say if a challenge arises, I sometimes look back at an old challenge and see how I dealt with that. And it kind of brings my human spirit into it, and the strength of the human spirit, and the determination, the love, the joy, and all the happiness that is actually within the human spirit, the strength. And you may be weak with an injury, you may not have as much strength as some able-bodied people, or someone who hasn't got like a challenge in their life, but you're strong. mentally strong, you have an inner strength. Strength isn't always about being physically strong, but it's about pulling from getting into the depths of your soul and seeing that, you know, living through that darkness, but getting through it. There's nothing wrong with having that darkness at one point in your life, because it teaches you to go through it, and it teaches you so many things. So many things. I wouldn't be here being able to share all my things if I didn't go through the darkness. The darkness led me towards the light again, and has given me lessons with that. Another thing this has taught me is accessibility in the world, and in the accessible world we live in. Or maybe not so much. So really, again, the world could be so much more accessible for people with a spinal cord injury, or people who need to use a wheelchair or have a less mobility. The world is changing a bit and it is getting better, but the world still needs to have those adaptations in place, because we are here, we are alive, we are breathing, we are part of society, we still give to society. We are here to live our lives as much as anyone else. And there may be some people who may feel restricted because of the situation, and they may not do things. And I really want to use my voice to say that the world needs to be a bit more accessible. Well, a lot more accessible. There are changes that have happened, and that's great. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that still need to happen. And, you know, within that goes back to kindness and empathy. And people need to think, well, if this happened to me, would I still want to live in the world? And yes, you do want to live in the world. You want to see the world just like everyone else. We have desires still. We have hopes and dreams. That doesn't go away just because of a spinal cord injury, or any injury for that matter, or any situation. We still want to see the world. We want to have an accessible world. We're not asking for much. We're asking for something to be accessible. And that isn't changing much. It could be a ramp into a building. It could be an open space, a bit more of a bigger room perhaps. Accessible vehicles. It's not asking for much. We're asking to be heard. We're asking to be a part of this world. We're not asking to, you know, make it any worse. We're just asking to be a part of it and to be heard and to be seen. So I'm lucky that I've been places, and I still, despite some things being inaccessible, I will find a way to adapt to it. Luckily, I have people around me who see the world like I do and want to, you know, help in ways that they can, and we'll be like, we'll get through this. There'll be steps to a building, we'll be like, we'll find a way. And if not, we'll go somewhere else. But if there's not a way in, we'll find a way in. And there's always ways around everything. So please don't be stopped because of your injury. Find other ways. If the world isn't changing, we need to find other ways. And we need to be out there so people can change. So countries can adapt. So buildings can adapt. We need to be seen. And the problem is, because we may not think the world is that accessible, we stay inside, which everyone is doing right now, by the way. So everyone is living a bit of our lives right now. But if we go out, people can see us and know that we exist, that we're not just these people who stay at home. We want to live a fulfilled life despite it all. I know I do, and I know you do too. And number 15, which is my favorite one to share with you right now, is it's taught me that I love myself. I truly do. And it's taken me 15 years to get there from having my injury. And with age and growing up, I think since I turned 30, I sort of realized that I like the person I am. I like that I'm authentic and real in everything I'm saying. I haven't like scripted any of this. I just wrote down the points on my phone. Everything I say is always from my heart, and I really value that of me. I love that I've dealt with what I've dealt with. It's raining, can you hear it? I love that what I've achieved. I love that I've put myself out there and not let my injury hold me back. And if you're letting something hold you back right now, know this is a sign for you to stop right now and to not let it hold you back any longer, because you've got a life to live. You deserve to live your best life possible. We all do, despite any situation. Love who you are, because there's only one you. You do not have to apologize for being your complete authentic self when you are being authentic and being true to you, because that is who you really are. And that is the most spiritual thing you can be, is being the true you, being exactly who you are, being in alignment with your soul, doing things that make you happy. I really recommend meditation, by the way, while we're on the topic. because it really does align you to start to understand who you are, connects you with your higher self and your soul, and you start to love yourself, and not in the way people always perceive loving yourself. Not like walking around like, I love myself, like you know, but it's more like, I love myself. And when you love yourself, great things happen, because you're radiating such a good energy. Because why would you not love yourself? Sometimes we expect other people to love us, but if we don't love ourselves, why would other people love us? We have to love ourselves and respect ourselves and just acknowledge ourselves and be grateful for who we are, because we are here for a reason. And I just want to say that to you, that I love myself and I love you guys. Shine your light, speak your truth, use your voice, move your body, meditate, have fun, talk to your friends, be part of society, and just live your best life, because it can be over in a second. Mine almost was. And to think that I've been here 15 years paralysed now is a blessing. I may have some times where I might get a bit emotional today, but that's human. I'm a human, and it's a weird one to think that I've been paralysed for as long as I was able-bodied. So really, I'm really stepping into my power of, I love myself, because I love both parts of me, the part before and the part now. And I think I was always dreading this day, because I wanted to always be still, it was an ego thing. I always wanted to still be Jordan, who, you know, oh, she's been paralysed for a few years, but she, you know, she was able-bodied, she was like you. But I don't even, who cares, and who cares? I'm alive, I'm healthy, I'm well, and that's all that absolutely counts. That's all that counts. And I'm just so grateful that I'm able to be here and that I survived. And I just wanted to share that with you. I love you all. Thank you so much. Live your best lives. And let's celebrate life.